Hey folks, I'm back. A second, just need to go live on the old TikTok. Like they've also broken through on TikTok, so I will be back to posting one TikTok a day till the hiatus is needed once more. Okay, in order to finish the success principles in time for my trip, I'll be planning on doubling up on the chapters from today through Friday. I'll be covering 2 chapters instead of just 1 in the Stormer Show edition of the success principles. So today, tomorrow, and the next day, I'll do 2 chapters each time I sit down to read. Okay, we find ourselves in part 6, success in the digital age. What turns me on about the digital age, what excites me personally, is that you've closed the gap between dreaming and doing. You see, it used to be that if you wanted to make a record of a song, you needed a studio and a producer. Now you need a laptop. If you wanted to make a film, you needed a massive equipment and a Hollywood budget. Now you need a camera that fits in your palm and a couple of bucks for a blank DVD. Imagination has been decoupled from the old constraints. That was Bono, lead singer of the Irish band U2, venture capitalist and philanthropist. Master the technology you need. Principle 63. Technology is supposed to make our lives easier, allowing us to do things more quickly and efficiently. Too often it seems to make things harder, leaving us with 50 button remote controls, digital cameras with hundreds of mysterious features, and cars with dashboard systems worthy of a space shuttle. James Surowiecki, business and finance columnist at the New Yorker Magazine. It's also my birthday today, so I appreciate any and all donations that go to my Venmo Stormer Show. On a few high dollar items, about $3,000 worth. So if you can make my day and contribute that to my Venmo, I'd be very much appreciative. Since the first edition of the Success Principles was written, a digital revolution has created a tidal wave of change that has deeply transformed the world we live in. The driving force of this revolution over the last 20 years has been a 98% reduction in the cost of computing and internet connections, driven by technology upgrades that get more powerful every year. And this trend is expected to accelerate. 20 years from now, computers will be roughly 1,000,000 times faster, 1,000,000 times smaller, and 1,000 times cheaper than they were when they were first invented. New technologies like 3D printing, robotics, self-driving cars, nanomaterials, and computational biology, all considered exponential technologies that merge the digital world into the physical world, will enable us to enjoy more abundance by generating more breakthroughs in the next 2 decades than we have experienced over the last 200 years. Thousands of high-flying startups will be launched, creating millions of new high-paying jobs. In fact, it is likely that humanity will eventually develop the ability to meet and exceed the basic needs of every man, woman, and child on the planet. Planetary abundance is within our grasp. When I think about creating abundance, it's not about creating a life of luxury for everybody on this planet. It's about creating a life of possibility. As Peter Diamandis, author of Abundance, The Future is Better Than You Think, chairman of X Prize Foundation, and chairman of Singularity University. What's so exciting but also daunting is that anyone connected to the internet has access to more information than ever before in history. This kind of access has also created a problem. There's so much information that Mitch Kapoor, the inventor of the Lotus 123 spreadsheet, said getting information off the internet is like taking a drink from a fire hydrant. Because of this acceleration, the rules of success have changed. In the digital age, the knowledge required to become super successful, which used to take years to acquire, is not only within everyone's reach, it's immediate and plentiful. In fact, it's almost overwhelming. There are literally millions of websites, videos, and e-learning resources out there to help you succeed. Because of this overwhelming amount of resources and information, succeeding in the digital age now requires a more diligent approach to time management. information management, and life management. All this new technology is definitely exciting, but if you are not careful, you can drown in it. Very easy to get lost in hours of mindlessly surfing the web, going from one interesting website, YouTube video, and Facebook post to the next. But if you're not careful, you can end up lost in the rabbit hole of fascinating but relevant information. Information is useful, but it is the information you actually act on that makes a difference to your success. The low information diet. In his breakthrough book, The 4-Hour Workweek, Tim Ferriss addresses the information overload that now exists and advocates going on a low information diet. Just as with our food, where most of us eat too many calories and calories of no nutritional value, we're consuming too much information, and usually it's of no real value. The 4-Hour Workweek, make sure you get the expanded and updated version by Tim Ferriss, is the best book I know on how to take advantage of the technological revolution without being victimized by it. I strongly urge you to read it. It's full of valuable information and more than 100 apps, websites, and online tools that make your work more efficient and your life much easier. Most of the information we are exposed to in newspapers, magazines, books, on television, and the internet is too time consuming, usually negative, and mostly irrelevant to your goals, typically outside of your ability to influence or change. Tim recommends that all your reading, except when reading fiction for pleasure, be reading with a purpose. Just as when I'm working on this book, even though I'm writing mainly from my own experience, when I do need to check out some information from another author's book, I read only parts that are immediately relevant to what I'm writing about. It's easy to get hooked and start reading things just because they are interesting. The same is true for surfing the internet. When looking for a piece of information on the Huffington Post, it was hard not to open up other articles on three gross things lurking in your ice cubes, or benefits of soaking up some sun, and Wall Street's secret weapon, Congress. These are all interesting and tempting topics, but totally off purpose for finishing this book. It's so easy to get unconsciously trapped into reading random articles and blogs, with each one leading you to other articles that are equally interesting. You have to exercise discipline. Tim goes on to recommend a 1-week media fast. No newspapers, magazines, audiobooks, or non-music radio. No news websites. No television at all except for 1 hour of pleasure viewing each evening. No reading of books except for 1 hour of fiction. No web surfing at the desk unless it is necessary to complete a work task for that day. He recommends that if you need to get your news fix, do so at your lunch break by asking a friend or the waiter. Anything important happening in the world? I couldn't get the paper today. Finally, he recommends developing the habit of asking yourself the question, will I definitely use this information for something immediate and important? The answer is no on either count. Don't consume it. Recently went on a 1-week media fast, and while I was nervous at first without my daily dose of CNN, the Huffington Post, and a slew of magazines I regularly read, Bloomberg Businessweek, Fast Company, Success, Psychology Today, and Science of Mind, I found I had lots more time to work on my highest priority goals, go for walks with my wife, exercise, meditate, and play my guitar. As a result, I canceled a number of other travel, food, and news magazines that were piling up in my office and my home. Steve Pavlina, the author of Personal Development for Smart People, recommends trying on new behaviors for a minimum of 30 days. What if you didn't watch television for a month? Or didn't watch the news for a month? Or didn't read a newspaper or magazine for a month? Every one of my students who've experimented with this informational detox program has reported amazing breakthroughs in both happiness and productivity. I encourage you to try it. Perfect time to thrive. In addition to bringing us knowledge and connections, the digital age has endowed us with a vast array of technological devices and self-improvement tools that help make us smarter, help us never miss an appointment, let us research and work with coaches, find mentors and partners, and learn new skills. There are over 1 million apps for your smartphone that teach just about anything you want to learn, and there are dozens of apps that help you develop a success mindset. It's an amazing time to be alive and a perfect time to thrive. Technology is no longer something to be feared. It is something powerful we can use to get what we want in life. Well, unfortunately, many people feel technology is too daunting for them, or that they're too old to understand it, or that it's actually cool to be techno-averse. Just like the early 19th century Luddites, English textile workers who protested against newly developed labor-saving machinery, many people today have chosen the path of protest over the path of progress. In Principle 31, Embrace Change, I said there are 2 types of change, cyclical and structural, and that tackling new things can bring you better circumstances, more money, greater free time, or other benefits you didn't originally expect. The digital age isn't just cyclical change that will somehow correct itself. You're living in an age of deep and pervasive structural change, the kind where there is no going back, the kind of change that can sweep you away if you resist it. Embracing it and leveraging it, on the other hand, can accelerate your success. Of course, the good news is that there's really nothing out there that is over your head. Everything you need to use to create greater success can be learned and mastered. How do you choose among the vast array of devices, platforms, portals, websites, services, software programs, and other offerings in this magnificent new era? More important, how can we master our use of each tool so that we get all the benefits and none of the overwhelm? Time to put some policies in place and take control of our technology. Take control of your technology. One of the best pieces of advice I've ever gotten from a digital lifestyle expert is that technology shouldn't drive your success. In other words, your good ideas should come first, with technology simply supporting the rollout of your good idea. You don't need to have every device available simply because it's available. What you should be asking is, how can I better manage my email when traveling? How can I put my artwork online so that gallery owners can commission showings? Then go find the technology that supports that good idea. Lukas Jakobiak had the idea to launch his own television show and ended up creating one of the most popular shows in Europe from his 20 square meter apartment in Warsaw, Poland. He couldn't afford the studio rental and expensive equipment that would be required to produce his own show, let alone negotiate the distribution rights with major television networks as a startup project with no track record. What he did have was a laptop, an internet connection, and a small apartment, one of the thousands of capsule apartments built by the Polish government as part of an affordable housing initiative. When Lukas interviewed me as part of a media tour I was doing in Eastern Europe, I was surprised at the quality of the finished show, appropriately named 20 Squared. Yet initially, I had my doubts when I arrived for the taping and saw Lucas's living space that contained a bed, a tiny kitchen, lighting equipment, and 2 iPhones perched on small tripods in front of 2 kitchen chairs. Today, Lukas edits and the show himself on his laptop and broadcasts it on the internet. It is perfect for the millions of viewers who are watching independently produced TV shows on mobile devices instead of watching big network productions sitting in their living room. Lukas has found a way to use technology to support his good idea. There are some other ways you can take control and use technology to your advantage. Divide your use of technology among different devices. One of the challenges of the technological revolution is that devices are now designed to do multiple things. We can check our email, send a text, surf the internet, call people, and take pictures with our smartphones. You can find Lucas's show 20 Squared on YouTube by typing 20M2 Lukas, Lukasva, in the search field. If you look, you can even watch his interview with me, which is in English and Polish subtitles. The rest of the shows are in Polish. You can also attend a class, make videos, watch TV, and read ebooks with our tablets. Our laptops and desktop computers will do even more. One thing I've noticed about all this functionality is that because we can perform all sorts of tasks on different devices, we now tend to multitask randomly and on any device within reach, at all times of the day and night, almost a lot, prioritizing what we're doing, versus simply focusing on accomplishing specific tasks that are central to our success. The result is that our technology has started to create chaos in our lives rather than simply being a tool. And the drawback to all this instant functionality is that it's created the expectation that people will get an instant response from you to all their most pressing issues. I like to propose the radical notion instead that you divide your use of technology among your multiple devices and use them for their intended purpose in a deliberate, focused way. You're working at your job or business, creating documents, producing spreadsheets, writing your blog, doing projects, initiating emails to people. Use your desktop or laptop computer. Heavy lifting or work-related creation is what it was intended for. When you turn off creation and want to consume information, meaning read books, check your social networking sites, surf the internet, through magazines, watch videos, turn on your tablet because consumption is what it was intended for. And smartphones, they're for communicating with people, calling, texting, Snapchatting, Instagramming, and sending impromptu photos. The benefits of this divide your use philosophy is not only that it lets you focus on the task at hand, but also lets you be more present with the people you're interacting with. If you've ever been on the phone with someone while they're Skyping, surfing, and texting, you know how disconnected you feel from them and how disinterested they appear about the matter at hand. If you think you never give up your mobile devices, even for a few hours while you sit at your desktop computer focusing on your future, consider how much more productive you could be truly without the distractions and multiple devices ringing, chiming, and popping, alerting you to dozens of things that frankly can wait until later. Use the bookmarks toolbar for your most important websites. Even with predictive browser windows that pop down a list of choices every time you start typing, you'd be surprised at the mental minutes you spend every week typing the address of your favorite websites. Programming these URLs into your browser's bookmarks bar is a tremendous time saver. For security, use a password manager and always log out. Similarly, spending time searching for passwords or maintaining an up-to-date printed list or trying to remember or create new passwords is one of the most frustrating annoyances of the digital age for most people. And that doesn't begin to approach the time spent finding the login URLs and usernames of accounts you've created all over the internet. Time saving and security. A password manager will remember your websites, bring up the correct login and web page, usually different from the home page. Create a high security password that are strings of letters and numbers a rocket scientist couldn't remember, and automatically fill in your username and passcode every time you need to log into an online service, membership site, social media page, or other destination. Once you're finished at the password protected website, be sure to prevent identity theft, hacking of your passcodes, and security of your login information by getting in the habit of always logging out. Time required to clean up problems once your private information has been stolen is enormous, and if you were logged into a site that has your financial details, watch out. Avoid this major headache by always logging out of online services. Don't just close the browser window. Use cloud applications to mirror your devices for safety and ease of reinstatement. While cloud storage, uploading your files to internet-based hard drive, with companies like Dropbox, Google Drive, and Apple's iCloud, was a major paradigm shift of our time, has become a major time saver and a safety feature of millions of people. Instead of storing your files on a desktop or laptop computer, cloud storage lets you store documents, photos, movies, apps, and other files via a service that utilizes the entire internet infrastructure to find a space for them. While it started as a way to store memory-intensive files such as music, photos, and movies, it has now become a total storage solution for companies and individuals alike. By uploading your work files to a cloud, you can access them anytime from anywhere, as long as you have an internet connection. Many people are buying laptops with smaller hard drives and then using the cloud to store the majority of their files. While it does seem scary to put a service provider and potentially unreliable technology in charge of your important data, the cloud has numerous benefits, so long as you develop some rules about what you store in the cloud and what absolutely must remain private, residing on your own computer at home or the office. You can either store your files in their entirety on the cloud, using Dropbox, for example, as your main hard drive, or you can store files on your own hard drive and back up to a cloud-based service for peace of mind. While automatic backup software has been around for years, most people either don't program it or they don't connect it to a storage unit. A colleague of mine once had their office broken into and lost every single work handout, marketing campaign, product work, manuscript draft, and other files when their 7 computers were stolen. Because they had backed up all their files onto both a physical storage drive and the cloud, they were able to reinstate their business within a day of purchasing new computers. Acknowledge that you have no privacy with digital materials and information. One of the reasons people were squeamish about cloud storage in the beginning is privacy, plain and simple. Are my files hackable? Will the service provider be able to read my financial statements? Someone download or divert my files as I'm uploading them? These were all legitimate questions. But while cloud storage is password protected and has many safety measures in place, be aware that the digital age comes with one major downside. You can have no expectation of 100% privacy on the internet. As daily news stories tell us, hackers can copy your passcodes from websites where you've created accounts. Emails can be grabbed and read en route. Photos can be lifted from your Facebook page and posted elsewhere in the blink of an eye. As can any digital file of any kind. Advice is to approach your digital lifestyle with the premise that nothing is private and become very careful about what you post, upload, email, or say in the online world. Of course, 100% privacy is available to those organizations that require it, but it's currently expensive. Be advised and be careful. One organization I'm proud to be on the board of advisors for is S-Scruples, a social networking platform like Facebook that has privacy and safety at its underlying premise. As its underlying premise. S-Scruples allows you to discreetly share your life, your successes, and even challenges in life among just your real-life friends, communities, and loved ones, without unintended public broadcasting, onward sharing with strangers, profiling, or data scraping. Check it out. You can read more about S-Scruples on sscruples.com. Contain the sprawl of monthly charges. One final way to take control of the technology in your life is to contain the cost of ongoing services you signed up for. Countless millions of people still pay via automatic credit card charges for services long ago forgotten, but a regular review of your credit card statement will give you a list of services you need to cancel or reevaluate, especially if newer, expensive options are now available. Particularly important if you're a business owner and someone else does your accounting. A friend who owns an advertising agency recently saved $1,500 a month by canceling services the agency had signed up for years ago. That's nearly $18,000 a year, money that surely could be put to better uses. Find people to teach you and learn quickly. No one person can know everything about the digital lifestyle, and training courses and technical support services abound for every activity. Don't be worried that you have to master every activity. Use those activities you need to use in order to pursue your goals, to get someone to help you learn them, and master them quickly and move on. Do a 7-day technology turnaround. I recommended that you make a list of irritations and annoyances. See Principle 28, clean up your messes and your incompletes. On page 246, you should complete a separate list of your technology annoyances. Once you compiled your list, you can begin to tackle the cleanup process or hire someone to do it. Leading a technology turnaround could take 7 days or less if you focus on the process. Put a comprehensive checklist of 7 days worth of cleanup activities at successprinciples.com/resources. Scroll down to Principle 63 and click on the link. Consider reducing the time on your cell phone and your email. Today, a lot of people have taken a drastic approach to regaining control of their life. They give up their cell phones and their email. The technological revolution was supposed to make our lives easier. Nearly 2 decades after email became popular and cell phones became affordable for everyone, most of us are inundated with non-essential email, not to mention spam. Many business people I know spend 3 to 4 hours a day just answering email. I used to be one of them. Now my assistant opens my email messages and brings me only the important ones, about 5 per day, to respond to. Some can't even go shopping, out to dinner, or on vacation without their cell phones going off. Not once, but several times. This trend is growing worldwide. I still carry a cell phone, but I only turn it on if I'm expecting an important call or if I need to make outgoing calls. Because they provide instant communication, cell phones and email also create the expectation of an instant response. People who have your cell phone number know they can instantly reach you for help with their immediate needs. Email messages are delivered within minutes, so people expect you to respond equally fast. When you distribute your cell phone number and your email addresses, you give others implied permission to make these demands upon you. But imagine how much more time and control over your life you'd have if you didn't have to react to all these immediate needs or read dozens of non-essential emails every day. Recently, I had lunch with 4 top people in a major publishing firm. They were all complaining about how overwhelmed they were by the amount of email they were getting, as many as 150 messages a day, and most of them were being generated right inside the company. When I asked them how much of it was essential to their job, the answer was maybe 10 to 20%. When I asked why they didn't tell people to take them off of their general distribution list, they said they were afraid of hurting people's feelings. They would rather suffer than solve the problem. What about the consequences of not telling the truth and changing things? They could cut out even half of the unwanted email messages. It would save 90 minutes per workday, freeing up time for the more important work and allowing them to go home at a reasonable time. That would add up to 375 hours or just over 9 40-hour work weeks a year. That's more than 2 months of valuable time. Isn't that worth a few people being upset for a few days? Yeah. Oh, okay, we finished Principle 63. Master the technology you need, and then I will proceed to Principle 64 today. Brand yourself with an online persona. Again, it is my birthday. I do appreciate any donations that are made to my Venmo Stormer Show. Any and all donations are very much appreciated. And then I will read 2 chapters today, tomorrow, and the next day to finish the success principles in time for my South America trip. Okay. Brand yourself with an online persona. Principle 64 now. Personal branding online is not about you. It's about your content. How do you become someone worth talking to, or even better, worth talking about? That was Matthew Kapala, author of Away with the Average, adjunct professor at New York University and founder of SearchDecoder.com. Every day, millions of internet users go online with little to no thought of the portrait they paint about themselves in the digital world. They make inflammatory comments on controversial blogs. They tweet meaningless messages about their personal life. They post questionable photos on their Facebook page. They upload videos of their hobbies, parties, vacations, and friends alongside professional clips at YouTube, never considering what this haphazard collection of information portrays about them. Much of this content can be removed. Much more stays on the internet as permanent public content that can be searched instantly by a potential employer, investor, bank loan officer, even a first date. Successful people, on the other hand, carefully manage their online persona. They post only information that will contribute positively to the image they present to the world. Even when they are voicing their opinions and bringing their personality to the internet, they think about the impact it will have. They master the art of appearing competent, authoritative, respected, someone worth listening to, wherever they are found online. This chapter is a result of major collaboration between my co-author Janet Switzer, Moses Ma, and myself. Moses is my go-to guy for what is innovative in the world of technology, especially as it relates to breakthrough success, personal growth, and accelerated business development. He's the managing director, partner of Next Generation Ventures, a venture accelerator and strategic consulting company located in San Francisco, California. I saw something pop up on my TikTok, but I'll keep powering through. What does your online presence say about you? Just as major consumer brands carefully craft what is said about their products and services, you too can turn yourself into a brand that is carefully developed, managed, and maintained online. Even if your current life project is just to clean up a local park, get a big promotion at work, win the regional track meet, become president of your local garden club, or something else that's not business related, you can still develop an online presence that inspires others to want to help you, get people excited about participating in your goals, and advances your cause, whatever it may be. This principle is not just for business people anymore. In fact, with the rise of social media, personal branding as a success tool has grown rapidly and is now within reach of everyone. Personal branding isn't just for celebrities. While many people think that personal branding is just for celebrities, the reality is that Facebook, LinkedIn, S-Grouples, Pinterest, Google+, Tumblr, Instagram, and YouTube make it possible for each and every one of us to become a brand. As a brand, we can leverage the same strategies by these celebrities or corporate brands to appeal to others and build brand equity just like them. Of course, once you begin to define your personal brand, you'll see important benefits. For one thing, personal branding requires you to be crystal clear on what you want to achieve and helps you set goals to get there. It helps you to create visibility and presence, which attracts people who can help you achieve your goals and achieve them more quickly. But it also empowers you, puts you in a control position of business, puts you in control of the business of you. Having a strong personal brand makes you resilient to what's going on in the world. Strong corporate brands, for example, are successful despite challenges and downturns in the economy because they stand for something unique. Same thing goes for you if you choose to differentiate yourself with a brand. Fortune 500 companies know that over 80% of their market value resides in their intangible assets, including their brand and other intellectual capital. The same statistic holds true for personal branding. The market value is 80% based on the brilliance of your thoughts and the strength of your personal brand image in the world. As such, wealth can flow from your valuable personal brand. So, what are the steps to creating a personal brand online? Step 1, decide who you want to be. If you're a career professional hoping to move up the ladder or become a CEO or C-level executive one day, you should know how many top candidates you'll be competing against are already online with content that depicts them as competent, forward-thinking, and in demand. In other words, a good investment for some smart company. Many corporate executives are even writing books, running the speaking circuit, securing media interviews, participating in industry events, even hiring publicists and marketing agencies. They know that in a competitive hiring situation, the job candidate who has off the charts presence in their field will be seen as bringing more to the company once they are hired. If you're a small business owner or consultant, being online with the right message is even more important since there are dozens, if not hundreds, of other companies your potential customer can spend money with. These competitors are already online with professional websites, authoritative articles, smart marketing, and social media profiles that tell prospects you're a safe bet to spend money with. Even nonprofits are in competition with other causes for donor dollars. Online branding is important. If you're an emerging musician, dancer, athlete, or young author, who knows what exciting dimension an online presence could add to your future? Develop an online persona or brand that will advance your career, business, or cause. Start distributing content that positions you as someone who can benefit a potential employer, customer, investor, or donor, or inspire a future mentor, coach, or sponsor. Determine the market you want to reach. Created a network of 100,000 people, all of whom could help your career, connect you with new opportunities. Who would you want those 100,000 people to be? Alternatively, what categories of people will benefit the most from your knowledge, expertise, or opinions? Do they work in the industry, have an interest in your field of study, or are they random consumers who have the same hobby, decorating ideas, fashion sense, or entertainment preferences that you do? You don't have to hold a PhD or be recognized as a media star to have a following or build your expert persona online. Even if you're a college student, stay-at-home mom, or corporate employee with big plans for your future, you can still bring useful information and insights to others who find valuable enjoyment or value and enjoyment in following your work. Since you eventually will be nurturing the following with ongoing advice, and she'll be nurturing this following with ongoing advice and updates. Be sure you're targeting the market you are most passionate about and which will provide the greatest benefit for your future. The process of choosing your market is even more critical if you own a business or consulting practice. As part of the process of determining which market you want to reach, be sure to take a moment and Google yourself. Is this what you want people to see? Next, Google your top competitor by name. What did the results tell you? Start a blog and build a website. Blogging is probably the best way to hone your brand online. Writing your thoughts, sharing your experiences, and helping people when they bring up a question or comment about a blog post help you build confidence in your personal brand. Also, build awareness of you and your brand on the internet. One thing, Google loves blogs, and once you're listed on Google, it'll immediately index. You can query in its search engine any article you post. This happens within minutes. Not only that, but you can begin to earn credibility and trust among your followers. Starting a blog is so easy that you can get it going with just a few clicks. The easiest blog platforms to start with is WordPress at www.wordpress.com. You can choose a colorful theme, add an about page for your biography, easily upload pictures from royalty-free photography sources across the internet, and manage blog commenting privileges. WordPress is also easy to use. It's developed so many plugins or add-on features that people now use it to build entire websites. While it's not just for blogs anymore, it still remains the easiest blog platform to use. Not only that, it's been around long enough so that there are countless WordPress freelancers who can help you start up. Find one of these, post your blog your blog project on elance.com, or for super low cost help, try fiverr.com, a website that represents freelancers all over the world who will do small jobs for just $5. Part of the process for setting up your blog, consider creating a buzzword phrase or actual trade name that can be tied to your real name. For example, searching the trade name Success Principles will show my name connected to that phrase on thousands of websites across the internet. My marketing team, headed by Lisa Williams, has worked very hard to create the outcome over the years. This outcome. You now effectively own this phrase. For Success Principles, my buzzword phrase or trade name was Chicken Soup for the Soul. Of course, once you start your blog, it's time to think about a website that might benefit you. A website can feature pages in addition to your blog that describe products or services you have for sale, detail how to hire you for consulting work, provide forms where people can opt in for a free guide or other samples of your work so you have their email address for future marketing, and generally represent you to the public as an authority in your field. If you're an artist or photographer, you can feature a gallery of your work. If you own a restaurant, you can feature coupons for new customers. Corporate executive, you can feature information on your speaking availability and topics. If you own a business, your website can generate actual sales for you 24 hours a day, all over the world if you so choose. Create key social media profiles. With your blog and website in place, you now have a destination for your social media followers, a place to send people where they can find out how to work with you or buy from you. Your blog shares your information and shares your knowledge and perspectives in your profession or industry, and your website offers solutions. Social media is where you connect, share links, and network. It isn't where you overtly sell. Once you send prospects from your social media to your blog, they're sharing a hook and a link to your latest blog articles. Each article should close with a link to that part of your website that offers ways to work with you or buy something from you. These days, if you claim to be an authority on any subject and you aren't featured on at least Facebook or LinkedIn, you're not considered a real expert. Knowing that, it's simple to start or upgrade your Facebook page to begin positioning yourself as a go-to source of information, help, and useful topics. You can write short advice pieces on a single subject. Survey your followers, run contests, let them in on your latest project. You can advertise to get people into your network. LinkedIn is an even more important social networking site if you're a career professional or business owner. Now, with more than 250 million members worldwide, up from just 8.5 million in 2007, it's literally the world's largest professional network. So not only does it provide opportunities to connect with people who can help your business, it's the ideal recruitment platform for new clients and customers. Depending on your personal branding and the advice and information you'll be distributing, other social networking sites that you may want to use are Google+, Pinterest, YouTube, plus the many thousands of sites dedicated to specific themes or subject matters. Post regularly. Of course, once you launch your social networking profiles, you'll want to post regularly. Nothing looks worse than having large gaps in your posts. It makes you look inattentive and unprofessional, even though you may have nothing important to say for weeks or months. Some experts recommend that if you're not able to maintain your social media pages, that you disable them for a time until you can return to them. Building a brand takes diligence and effort, so stay active and connected. After all, connecting is what social media is for. Omit unrelated personal content that could detract from your brand. Finally, consider limiting your personal and non-career material that shows up online, or at least limit it to social media pages that are private for your family and friends only. Unless your lifestyle, family activities, romantic relationships, parties, vacations, and other aspects of your personal life are part of your brand, keep these matters private via social media groups that allow you to restrict who sees what you share. Throwing your private life open to the world by posting personal photographs, opinions, tweets, and details about your downtime activities will detract from your brand. Give your followers permission to judge you and maybe even reason to question your expertise. Be real, be personable online, but keep most of your private life private. A perfect example of this is a colleague of mine who, in addition to being an internationally recognized business expert and best-selling author, is also an award-winning floral designer, popular design lecturer, and published floral artist. He was twice named Flower Ranger of the Year, travels the world attending flower shows, wins countless awards, and is even on track to become a nationally credited flower show judge. While she has every reason to post positive content about her hobby, you won't see photos of her work or invitations to attend her floral design lectures. At least not from her, anyway. Why? Because she's carefully evolved her more important persona, that of a veteran business strategist, published business author, and networking speaker. Knowing how internet content can spread and how easily it can cause confusion with her potential customers, she's chosen to proactively shun the spotlight when it comes to her hobby. Step 2, make sure your online content advances your brand. Today, nearly 2 billion names are searched on Google every day, almost the entire population of the United States and Europe combined. Even more important, the Washington Post reports that 75% of human resources professionals are required to research job applicants online, with a whopping 70% having rejected job candidates in the past following searches. What was their biggest factor in deciding not to hire someone? Provocative photographs posted by the job candidate on their own social network page, or even on the pages of friends. This trend has become such a career killer for young professionals that one university actually purchased reputation management services for every graduating senior. Online experts search out and delete questionable content. Today, what you say and do online has the power to affect your professional future. What can you do to transmit your online persona in a way that advances your brand and builds rapport with your market? Just as successful people do. Live your brand. Moses Ma, co-author of Agile Innovation, a revolutionary approach to accelerate success, overcome risks, and engage everyone, recommends that you live your brand, meaning to actually be, think, breathe, and eventually manifest the ideals that you seek. Most people simply come up with a few words to slap on their social network profile. To be truly successful, you need to manage your thoughts, be conscious in how you act, and be aware of how you are received by your friends, partners, clients, prospects, vendors, colleagues, everyone on the web. Branding yourself as someone who's good at something, try to be helpful, informative, insightful, not only for clients who are paying, but for everyone. Share some of your secret sauce wherever you post, comment, or upload. If you're innovative, demonstrate that. If you're a great coach, don't just include testimonials, offer some coaching through your blog. Unleash your participation. The internet provides an amazing opportunity to engage with others. Don't just sign up and lurk around. Get involved in conversations. Be genuinely interested in what people do and help others if you have a fact, contact name, idea, or something else that would be valuable. The Pennsylvania State University study found that of the approximate 6 billion Google searches performed every day, about 30% of them, or 1.8 billion searches, are for someone's name. Contribute to the community and give before you take. You not only should follow and comment on others' blog posts to give them encouragement, but also make an effort to participate on Twitter too, following people and posting tidbits of information. Get good enough at it so you know what a hashtag and Hootsuite are. Let your handle, avatar, and wallpapers express your personal brand. Cultivate your online presence. Nothing is worse than dealing with someone who talks only about themselves at a party or who glazes over when you're responding. The internet is no different. To be present online means to be more interested in what other people and you are in advancing your own message. Who they are, what makes them tick, and what makes them happy. What excites them. Even on a chat board, you can be fully present when you read what others are saying. Once you feel empathy, you want to help them get what they want, and that is the way to build helpful, insightful, wise, and value the aspect of your personal brand. Command positivity. There are a lot of negative, critical, sarcastic, and cynical people online. Don't be one of them. Positive energy and attitude is like a ship carrying you across a sea of online activity and helping you navigate your online journey. Don't just float aimlessly like a life raft. Be the captain of your ship, steering it toward your goals with purpose and positivity. Positivity starts with being friendly, loving, and caring. Make an effort to be polite to everyone you meet or are seen by online. It'll put your offline reputation in a good light too. Don't just be nice to prospects, be nice to everyone. Make an effort to appreciate something about every person you interact with online. Make an effort to uplift them in some small way. I'm reminded of the week I spent in Bermuda for a meeting of the Transformational Leadership Council. As several of us were boarding a local bus for dinner on the other side of the island, a young man who worked in the kitchen of our hotel boarded at the last minute, and with no other seats available, took a seat next to Reverend Michael Beckwith, one of the teachers featured in The Secret, star of his own upcoming movie, and largely heralded as one of America's most popular spiritual thinkers. Michael could have sat in silence next to the hotel worker. He instead struck up a spirited conversation with the young man, exhibited the same enthusiastic interest and friendliness to him that he had exhibited with the other high-level important participants at the TLC meeting. The avatar is the screen name, picture, or graphic you've chosen that represents you or your alter ego. Posting online, commenting on blogs, gaming, or participating in virtual worlds. I believe that I should treat people like I want to be treated. That means any online effort requires serious, relentless mutual commitment to the people involved with that effort. That's Craig Newmark, founder of Craigslist.com. Craigslist.com founder Craig Newmark explains this kind of online presence as a permanent listening action cycle. You ask for community feedback, you do something about it, and you repeat forever. Craig's formula for building a community website to connect the world for the common good. Surpassed eBay in traffic in 2010 with over 50 billion page views per month. Personal brand in this energy, positivity, or lack of it, radiates around you much like an energy field. So be sure that you have genuinely positive energy at your core before you go online. That means that even on your worst days, even after life-draining meetings, and even with a lifetime of potential baggage, allow your core to shine. Speak with impeccability. Use empowering words when you post. Always respect other viewpoints in a controversy. Assume that other people have the best intentions, even if they don't, and be a person of integrity both on and offline. Radiate the energy of success. Inspire people by sharing your success stories, sharing inspiring quotes, articles, or books you've read. Help others by revealing your way to success. Don't keep everything to yourself. Not only do people learn through stories, sharing in this way humanizes you and helps them see what's possible for their lives. Share your why. According to Simon Sinek, the New York Times bestselling author of Start With Why, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Why did you decide to start sharing information as an expert in your area? How do you approach your work in the way that you do? It keeps you excited every day in your career path or field of study. Your why could be the single most powerful, clear, positive idea that comes to mind whenever anyone thinks of you. It's what you stand for, values, capabilities, and attitude that people associate with you wherever they see you on the web or whenever others refer to you. But finding your personal why first, they'll have interested and open-minded listeners when you describe what you're doing, how you're doing it, why others should be interested, and what you have to offer. Forge deeper relationships. While the internet can be a very transient, anonymous place with people dropping in for a few minutes but never staying long enough to get connected, you, on the other hand, have the ability to forge long-lasting relationships simply by approaching your online time with deeper relationships as your goal. The web now gives you a chance to build a powerful support team, connect with potential mentors, create a mastermind group, or simply develop a support friendship group in chat rooms, forums, and membership sites with people who are on the same path as you. Once you've established a connection, feel free to ask for what you want and need. Similarly, be someone who is approachable for help by others. Before asking, follow the conversation, offer help and context with the discussions and communities where you can find yourself. In his book, Jab, 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 Right Hook, author and social media expert Gary Vaynerchuk explains that for years, marketers crafted two different approaches to selling online. One, high-impact campaigns designed to knock sales out of the park, the right hook, and two, patiently nurturing relationships with customers over time, the jab. And because of social media, he says, the winning combination of jabs and right hooks has changed, requiring online marketers to create content that is specific to the communities and conversations with the individual social media platforms. The only way to appear engaged on all these platforms is to be engaged. Get out there and forge strong and meaningful relationships with those who need your help and are more likely to speak up on your behalf and tell others about you. It doesn't matter how many friends you have on Facebook or how many people follow you on Twitter. What matters is how strong and resilient those relationships turn out to be. Upload photos and videos. People online relate best to other people, not words or images. So get out of your shell and start taking more photos and filming more short videos of your work, your interests, your advice, and your customer interactions. Feel online video is just another overhyped passing fad? In the Forbes.com article, think again. It cited a study that showed video was a better producer of sales leads than white papers, ebooks, and even live demonstrations from sales reps. As humans, our brain function is naturally drawn to faces, motion, and sound. Susan Weinschenk, PhD, who consults to companies like Walmart, Amazon.com, Best Buy, and Disney, uses brain science to predict, understand, and explain what motivates people and how they behave. He says there are 4 reasons why online video is compelling and persuasive. Forbes.com/sites/rosensteel/2013/101/28/ online videos vital for your 2013 content marketing objectives. All right, a bunch of I'll just get into the 4 reasons. 1. The fusiform face area of the brain forces us to pay attention to faces so we connect more readily with what's being said. Additionally, this part of the brain also processes emotions, so viewers often achieve an emotional connection with both the message and the person delivering it. 2. The human voice conveys rich information. In fact, just as the tone of the voice you use to deliver your message will impact what viewers hear. Careful to convey enthusiasm, authority, even excitement, depending on the response you want from viewers. Emotions are contagious. Due to the human-to-human interaction that video provides, video helps you communicate excitement and passion for a topic in a way that written words simply can't convey. 4. Movement grabs attention. Over the course of human evolution, our brain has become programmed to pay attention to movement in our peripheral line of vision. That means we listen to any message when movement is attached to it. Finally, Susan advises video testimonials are social validation on steroids. They combine social proof, brain syncing, and emotional content. You can't just beat this for converting someone to your line of thinking. One of my top students, Mykola Latansky, who lives in the Ukraine and teaches the success principles, posts a video blog that's now called a vlog every day. Before he did this, he was attracting 50 or 60 people to his trainings. Now, because of the engaging nature of the vlogs and how viral they've become, he tracks 600 or more participants and has grown his business to over $1 million a year enterprise. Step 3. Monitor your online persona and clean up any negative information. One of the hottest trends, especially for entrepreneurs and businesses, is reputation management. Monitoring, correcting, and enhancing of online information about you and your business. Almost there, thank goodness. This is taking forever. Whether this information takes the form of reviews on consumer sites, photographs of you in dubious situations, posts or videos you've uploaded, third-party blogs featuring you or your business name, or even someone infringing on your trademark product name, online content about you and your business can be inspiring, informative, or downright embarrassing. Not surprisingly, a whole new crop of service providers has emerged to help you manage your online reputation. Whether you own a business, or graduating from college and launching your career, or recently decided to take up a worthy cause. Even personal relationships that have ended or former business relationships that turned sour can be managed or minimized online through reputation management. Before you hire professional service, there are things you could do on your own. We put an entire tutorial and checklist online to help you through the process, including a list of reputation management companies that can eventually take over the process for you when the time comes. Scroll down to Principle 64 on thesuccessprinciples.com/resources. Suppress your past if you can. In Europe, it's easier than ever. Of course, if there's something terrible in your past that you cannot have removed, you're now a person of integrity and impeccability who truly wants to make a new start. You take advantage of right to be forgotten privileges that let you petition to have adequate, irrelevant, or excessive information about yourself hidden on Google. Nearly 12,000 people completed petitions the first day they were available, after the European Union's Court of Justice decision compelled Google to make the service available. The United States version of Google is not yet regulated in this way, but it is worth checking into with major search engines and individual websites where you live. Brand yourself with a TED Talk. Perhaps the penultimate experience for personal branding is to give a TED Talk or TEDx talk. Since its start in 2009, TEDx events have been held in 167 countries at an average rate of 8 per day. If you haven't yet discovered TED Talks, go to TED.com, click on the Most Viewed tab, watch a few to get started, and later click on the Explore the Whole Library tab. I do my best to watch one TED Talk a day. All the talks are by people who are geniuses and leaders in their field. I've presented talks at the TED conferences over the past years. Here's some of my favorite top-rated TED Talks. You can find them all on YouTube. Dr. Ken Robinson, Do Schools Kill Creativity? Tony Robbins, Why We Do What We Do. Dan Pink, The Puzzle of Motivation. Brene Brown, The Power of Vulnerability. Bill Bolt Taylor, My Stroke of Insight. Simon Sinek, How Great Leaders Inspire Action. Dan Gilbert, The Surprising Science of Happiness. Angela Lee Duckworth, Key to Success, Grit. Visualize yourself giving a TEDx talk. TEDx CEO and curator Chris Anderson shares what it takes to create a truly compelling TED Talk. When we first experimented with giving away TED Talks on the web, our main concern was that no one would watch. How would you sit through an 18-minute lecture when there's a whole world of hilarious cat videos to be explored? To our astonishment, the talk started to go viral. It happened because our speakers were tapping into something amazing and primal. Certain circumstances, an idea resident in a human mind can resonate with the same insight and excitement felt by the originator. This little miracle to happen, it needs all the help it can get. Ignition of curiosity, clarity, humor, the stripping out of needless jargon. In some cases, an emotional connection to the speaker is a valuable ingredient. You learn more from people that you care about. We appear to have found an approach that appeals in our 18-minute format. But can you share something worthwhile in 18 minutes? Definitely. Unequivocally, yes. Gettysburg Address made history in the ninth of that time. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech, 16 minutes. Our instructions to speakers include substance matters more than performance. Personal connection may be good, emotional manipulation is not. And there is no formula. Give the talk in your own way. That's a perfect recipe to maintaining your personal brand. When you share, blog, or comment, always remember that substance matters, that personal connection matters, that you must be true to yourself in every way. Here's a powerful visualization. See yourself giving a TED Talk someday or something similar to it because that's where we're heading. Do whatever it takes to give that speech. That might mean figuring out what you want to say. It might mean getting some training in public speaking and developing on-stage presence. It might mean putting yourself out there, getting rejected, getting feedback, getting better, and finally getting it right. It's something truly worth sharing with the entire world, something that you're absolutely passionate about, given a chance to happen. Secret sauce of digital success is passion. In closing, the secret sauce for branding yourself successfully in the digital age is passion. All about finding your own voice, finding your own way, finding a kind of creativity that you can call your own. It means allowing your intuition and inner brilliance to lead you, like an unseen hand, to your own path. Defiance of accepted norms or current trends. Passion is something within you that provides the continual enthusiasm, focus, and energy you need to succeed. Unlike feel-good motivation derived from external sources, true passion has a more spiritual nature. It comes from within. It can be channeled into amazing feats of success. You can absolutely succeed and thrive in the digital age. There are now 3 really good books on how to give a TED Talk. If you never give a TED Talk and you just want to become a better speaker, these books are invaluable. Walk Like Ed, 9 Public Speaking Secrets of the World's Top Minds by Carmine Gallo. How to Deliver a TED Talk by Jeremy Donovan. How to Deliver a Great TED Talk by Akash Karia. Don't tell yourself you're too old or too techno-challenged. Get outside your comfort zone and gain confidence with all things digital. The only barrier today is your own belief. Jimmy Wales, the founder of Wikipedia, once said, "Imagine a world in which every single person on the planet is given free access to the sum of all human knowledge. Our world is today. The sum of all human knowledge is there for you, like an ocean of information and data. It's up to you whether you want to stand on the beach or learn how to swim." Okay, next time we'll be covering Principle 65, use social media in a way that enhances your reputation. All these about social media branding, online presence. All right, folks, that does it for Success Principles today. Please remember to support the show. Likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, Venmo, Stormer Show. It is my birthday after all. Any and all support is very much appreciated. I'm in the market for about $3,000 worth of stuff, so if you can kick a $3K donation dono my way, I'd be very much and truly grateful. Non-monetary support is also appreciated. Likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, follows on TikTok, subscribes on YouTube. Anything and everything is appreciated. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. I've been your host. It's been my 34th birthday. I'll come back tomorrow with more success principles, so please stay tuned.